Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Greenville where over the weekend there was a wreck at a busy Greenville intersection. Of course, this unfortunately injured one person in the crash. Greenville Fire and Rescue tells WITN they received a call around 3:45 p.m. yesterday involving a two-car collision in the intersection of East Arlington Boulevard and Evans Street. Greenville Fire and Rescue say that one person was transported to ECU Health Medical Center. Their condition is unknown at this time. We reached out to Greenville Police for more information and are waiting to hear back. Of course, also unfolding over the weekend, more protests in Iran as the protests have now claimed dozens of lives. NBC's Richard Engel has more.
Anti-government activists tell NBC News morgues are filling up in Iran as security forces use live ammunition to crush the uprising. Videos show families lining up to identify bodies. A human rights group says more than 540 people have been killed, including 48 security personnel and around 10,000 detained. Activists claim the state is handing down death sentences without trials. But the protesters are not stopping, setting fires to government buildings and symbols of the regime. Some of the protesters are calling for the restoration of Iran's former monarchy, overthrown by the Islamic Revolution in 1979. President Trump says he's weighing military options against the Iranian government.
We're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
The Iranian government hasn't commented on the death toll and is warning that if attacked, Iran could retaliate against Israel and American bases in the Middle East.
If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it.
The government is now organizing counter rallies and declaring 3 days of mourning for security personnel and civilians killed in the violence. The uprising is triggering solidarity protests around the world, including in Los Angeles, where a U-Haul truck plowed into a crowd supporting the uprising on Sunday. No major casualties reported, the driver taken in for questioning.
Again, that was Richard Engel reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast, looking at sunny skies outside right now across eastern North Carolina, but it is cold. It is coming with a bit of a chill outside right now. This is a view through our Belhaven cam of the Pungo River. Again, very picturesque, but stepping out into that scene is a little bit different than what it looks like. Of course, air temperatures right now down near freezing across many inland areas of eastern North Carolina. 34 degrees in Greenville comes with a northerly breeze at about 5 miles an hour. But it's not just inland areas. Coast is cold too. A little bit warmer though. We've got 36 degrees in Beaufort as well as Oriental, 37 in Manteo, 39 in Hatteras. Compare that to 32 degrees in Kenansville, Rocky Mount, and Roanoke Rapids, along with Williamston. And inland areas again still a little bit cooler, but everybody kind of in the same boat of it's cold outside. And it is drastically different from where we were 24 hours ago, as we have seen about a 25 to 30 degree drop over the past 24 hours in terms of your air temperatures. That's what happens when you get a strong front rolling through that we had over the weekend. Of course, that strong front has shifted our winds, more of a northerly breeze today. Those winds could be picking up a little bit more speed later on this afternoon, but nothing going to get too crazy. But you will feel that wind chill as you step outside coming up, not only for this morning, but certainly for this afternoon as those wind speeds increase to around 6 to 12 miles per hour. Later on today, a little bit of cloud cover tries to work its way in from the south, not going to amount to much. Coming up for tomorrow, another cold start to the day, but we will have plentiful sunshine, and that should help at least warm us up by the time we get to the afternoon. Looking at a jump, I would say, into the low to mid 50s. Some areas may even see the upper 50s coming up for tomorrow, thanks to a wind shift and still sticking with that sunshine. But here's a big picture look at exactly what we've got going on. We've got a kind of a series of low pressure systems that are going to be pushing their way towards eastern North Carolina through this week. There you can see that first one coming down out of the Great Lakes area, that is going to couple itself with another area of low pressure you're seeing down towards Texas. I want to say good morning to Kim Jones. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. But both of those two systems, not enough. There's a third system that will then develop that will kind of help push everything out into the Atlantic. Again, it's going to end up being I would call it a messy end of the week. This is a picture by Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. It's going to take, I would say, a good 24 to 48 hours to get all of that moisture off of our coast and through eastern North Carolina. So, for this evening, air temperature is going to be dropping back down into the upper 20s by tomorrow morning, looking at air temps near or slightly above freezing as we head towards midnight tonight. For tomorrow morning, again, it is going to be a cold one, but will warm up quickly, going from 28 degrees at 7 to 49 by 11. And we don't stop there. Again, a southwesterly wind will help warm us up, looking at mid to upper 50s for tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. And a little bit more rain coming in by the tail end of the week. Looks like Thursday is going to be our best opportunity for rain showers. Now, if we see any lingering drops coming up Thursday night into Friday, some of those drops may actually come down as snowflakes. Most likely not going to amount to anything, but certainly something cool to see as a few snowflakes may fall across eastern North Carolina. I wouldn't anticipate any sort of snow accumulations at this point. Everything looks very, very light in terms of moisture content. And then from there, we stick with at least an opportunity for rain chances over the weekend, with another cold front coming in late Saturday night, more so into Sunday morning. Well, that's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Monday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.